Welcome to Transformation Live. So good to be back. As you arrive, post your comments of your name, where you are in the world. Just playing this track to let people arrive into the space. The healing's already with us. Just back from the US trip, and I'm really looking forward to this one. We had this scheduled for a couple of months ago, and then I fell sick, so I had to reschedule to today. And it's a pleasure to have with us today Pia, who lives in Taiwan, and I think I've known Pia for, was it a couple of years now, Pia, that we've known each other, and had some amazing healings and connections, and really excited to see what emerges through our conversation about Buddhism and healing today. But welcome. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Really. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm looking forward to sharing what I can in the time that we have.
So the structure, for those of you who are new to Transformation Live, it's in 3 parts. So the first part will start off with it's like a spiritual chat show, and I have guests, and we will talk about topics of healing. So today we're going to be talking about Buddhism and the crossover with energy healing. And then there's an amazing instrument that Pia has that we will introduce to you, and she's going to play. And then the second part is the healing that everyone receives. So when you join Transformation Live, you all get a chance to receive energy healing. It's about a half-hour time period, and you can bring your questions to the feed. And with my guides, I will bring healing to you. I'll answer questions. I'll go through in a random order. And Pia will be playing her instrument and holding energetic space with me. And in the third part, there will be a demonstration of a healing, probably a power retrieval, which we've never done on Transformation Live before. So it's 90 minutes in total. And if you would like to invite your friends, you can. You can't share this like traditional posts because it's a group. But what you can do is go on the group to invite, and you can share this group with people in your life, your friends, your community, family, and they will receive an invite, and if they'd like, they can join this group. So if you have a moment, please do that. I'm seeing Parisa, hey, and Laurie, and got Victoria, and there's a few people from Facebook that I can't see your names. There's a setting on Facebook that on the description that gives permission to StreamYard, which is the software that I stream to multiple platforms at once, to give your name. So if you can find that would be amazing. And So, Pia, you're in Taiwan. Tell us a little bit about what's it like in Taiwan?
It's very tropical, and it's an amazing place culturally. It's full of all kinds of interesting temples. So you've got Buddhist temples, you've got Taoist temples, and culturally, it's very rich. It's international in the bigger cities, and there's beautiful nature. Like there's the highest mountain range, all the way down all like through the middle of Taiwan, and you've got beaches on the coast. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to live, and
Mm,
very spiritual place.
fascinating. I'd love to see it one day.
You well
Uh,
got a place to visit.
and have you always lived there, or is it somewhere you moved to?
I moved here, and I've been living here off and on since the mid '80s when I first entered upon this larger journey of life outside of the
Mm.
U. Yeah.
Amazing. And so with Buddhism, when did that begin for you?
Actually, really young, when I was like probably second grade or so, or even before that. I used to just meditate, and then when I watched the series Kung Fu with David Carradine, is that his name? Yeah, it totally inspired me, like martial arts and a master. Like I didn't know it was Buddhism. I just knew that his master was opening his wisdom and opening his senses, and I just was just and the way his character in the series would solve problems and deal with people, it was so beautiful. It really touched me, and
Hmm.
that was just like, okay, I know the direction I want to go.
Wow. And then when did you start to train?
It was like really very trained in Buddhism. It wasn't until I came over to Asia, and then in the later '80s, I guess like 1988 or so, I was in Nepal, and I met a great master, Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche, and very much Zen-like, a very Zen-like master. Wonderful master. And I studied under him for a while. I studied with in Tibetan school, and then I was in Hong Kong. I actually ordained under the Dalai Lama um, as
Mm.
a nun, and I was assigned to a, a Dharma center in Hong Kong, and I met my life's like main teacher of my life, Master Nan Jin. He's the Chinese master, and
Hmm.
I've translated his live teachings, and he's amazing. He's a master of Taoism, Confucianism, Chinese medicine, and different schools of Buddhism. And he
Hmm.
was very much about taking Buddhism out of the wrappings, the cultural wrappings or the religious wrappings, and looking deeply at what it is. What are we actually doing? What are we working with? And so that training and that approach, um, it just transformed me. And
Mm.
I went into different traditions, and I was with Thich Nhat Hanh's tradition. I was with Seth in Germany, and in other places. And so I've been in many different traditions, and each of them
Hmm.
has wonderful parts. Mm.
And so you share that he's kind of stripped it down to what I understand the core of what the teaching is of Buddhism. And what are the highlights of that you could share with us?
Mm. The process or the find, like what is the core?
Like what is something that in just a few minutes you could share with the audience that they could take away in that process or that core, whatever you feel to share.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing that he taught was very important was to, all right, so everything has its essence, its appearance, and its function. So a lot of times, like people grasp onto like an appearance of something. For example, like you have like um, you have certain vows, or you act a certain way because you follow a certain tradition and you wear the clothes like that, or you have the and but Master Nan said, why do they have these different, what do the color, what does the color of the clothes mean? What does this eat, not eating after lunch, what is that? Why do you do that? You know, it's to clear your body, clear if you're doing very serious meditation. But if you're working, it's probably not appropriate for you to only have one meal a day. So you have to look at your circumstances and look at what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And,
Because
and,
people grasp onto something to make themselves look a certain way, or feel like this is, like, I have to strictly by these rules, but they don't understand why the rules are there in the first place.
mm. And you know, the core of, as you know, the intuitive teachings is living through the heart. So would you say that that's maybe the first crossover? Is that he's like, rather than having the identity of this is what we need to do, it's like the switch into like, these are the structures that have worked, and you need to position yourself in here. So if you're working, then you need to eat, for example.
Absolutely. And like you said, with the heart, Master Nan's practices were all about taking our awareness and bringing it down into the heart and listening, like bringing your ears down and placing them on the sides of your heart
Mm-hmm.
and listening here rather than
Mm.
listening up in your head. If you're
Mm-hmm.
visualization, don't be visualizing up here, bring it down into your heart, and it comes from here, because this is the place where your deeper intuition and your deeper knowing begins.
Mm. Yeah, amazing. That's one absolute core link then, yeah. And you said you were
Yeah.
ordained by the Dalai Lama. I'm sure the audience were sitting there thinking, well, what was that like?
Oh, it was really early on in Buddhism, and I had no, I, it was just, I was just devoting my life to the spiritual practice and the path of Tao, you know, and I just kind of was, kind of went along, and I was one of the 5 people who ordained that year in the Tibetan tradition. I eventually disrobed, even though I'm wearing red today. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Dalai Lama had, it was like a room full of Tibetans, and it was all in Tibetan. I had no idea what was going on, and they pass you a card, and you have to take the top one, and that's your Dharma name. That's your ordained name, and I had no
Uh-huh.
idea. And then you go up to Dalai Lama, and you had already shaved your head except for a little bit on the top of your head, and he clips it, and he
Uh-huh.
rubbed my.
And what was it like to be in his energetic presence?
um Lovely, really, you can feel his magnanimous heart, and his voice is very ocean like, very booming, but very
Mm.
gentle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to look today at the crossovers of energy healing. You went through a course of energy healing, so you know you've got a good connection point to the work I bring to Intuity,
Yeah.
and we can just dance in this conversation and see what happens. But like, what would you say the first things that come to your awareness around that crossover of
Mm,
Buddhism and energy healing?
very much. There's very much a crossover. So in Buddhism, when you start, one of the important aspects of Buddhism is quieting your mind. So part of it is the process of purification. So you're getting rid of your bad habits. You're you're putting your life on a, like, you're leading your life rather than just having everything just kind of have your life tumble about you. And when you start to quiet your mind, your senses awaken.
Mm-hmm.
But in Buddhism, one thing that's really important is that any kind of abilities, any kind of things that start to happen. Because for some people, when they quiet their mind and they move into the different states of samadhi or dhyana, different senses will open very strongly. And so to not be attached, this is like a core teaching of of Buddhism, is to understand that these things arise because of your work, because of these circumstances, and it's not like you have achieved Buddhahood through that. It's part of the path.
So it's just to make sure I'm understanding. You're saying like states of sort of enlightenment experiences happen, and not to attach to this, or are you talking about
Yeah,
the stuff in our life that happens? It's the experiences, right? To not attach to these.
yeah. Actually, both. I mean, the thing you should attend to what you are doing. So it's like you are in the here and now, and when you're washing the dishes, you're just washing the dishes. When you're sitting in meditation, you're just sitting in meditation. Things will arise, things will happen, and because we know that things the things happen because of many conditions coming together. And when the conditions change, the appearance, like maybe in your meditation you start to see you're seeing light, or your ears start to open or whatever, that has to do with the energy channels in your body. And if you grasp onto it, if you hold onto it, then what's going to happen is you're restricting your energy and it's not flowing, and you're going to be stuck in that stage for a long time rather than improving.
Mm. Well, one thing I've always wondered is like with energy healing, like we become through our senses aware of a
Yes.
healing issue, and I know that at times that presence is enough for the thing to shift, right? No other intervention is required, and other times the roots can be very deep, and so we
Mm.
use the techniques to trace maybe to this life, past life, for example, and we engage the wound and allow the expression and allow the healing to happen, and then so that thing we were feeling in our presence is no longer there. And so when we're present after that moment, usually there's love or lightness and connection happening. And my question to you is, with I would assume that with deep enough presence, that can happen with the really deep roots as well. Is that your experience through
Yes.
meditation?
Yes. And when you're in the presence of great masters, you come there maybe with some big issue, or what you feel is a big issue, and you come into their presence, and they may be talking about something completely unrelated, but then you start to, when it comes to you, that big heavy thing has already gotten much smaller without you
Mm-hmm.
having done anything, just being in their presence, because
Mm-hmm.
the capacity of their hearts and their minds and their training in emptiness, in the like bringing themselves to the point of the infinite, is so
Mm-hmm.
strong that you are blessed by that, and that can dissolve many things, and then you can move forward and focus on developing your wisdom, becoming more liberate, like really liberating yourself rather than struggling with something um, that if you used other techniques would take you much longer.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's really fascinating. Yeah, I had that experience. I've been to India and I've met some masters, and um, like yeah, my experiences of things just sort of melt away in that moment, right? And then
Yeah.
I guess the opportunity is to learn to cultivate that in oneself, so that not needing to acquire being in the presence of a master to enter that depth of presence.
Yes. Yeah. With the blessing of the master, you and the techniques and the meditation and understanding the teaching as well, it's like it, ultimately you liberate yourself, but at certain point you need the help of a master, you need the help of a healer, you need the help of your brothers and sisters along the path, your dharma
Mm-hmm.
brothers and sisters. um
Mm.
you need all of these parts, very important, but ultimately and within ourselves.
So you're cutting out a little bit there, but you're saying it's all ultimately in ourself. And what was the other part? The did you said before that?
Oh, um so we need the master, we need medicines, we need
Mm-hmm.
support of like the group around
Mm-hmm.
us to carry it forward, because we're still human, we have our difficulties. So rather than, Master Nan always said, don't sit in meditation to cure your illness, take medicine and then get yourself well and then come and meditate. Why waste your time
Mm.
using meditation to heal yourself of certain illnesses when a doctor can do that very easily?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Fascinating. Yeah, I often say to the guys in Intuity, we do this together. It's like I can really see how community, the group, is so important because we've all got different skills and abilities, and that we're learning off each other, right, as we grow.
Absolutely, yeah.
So those of you in the audience, if you've got any questions for Pia, you can start bringing them in. We will in a little bit choose one or two of these. And so Pia, when you worked with me, what did it provide differently to what the meditation, the journey through Buddhism had given to you to that point?
Well, at that point when I was working with you, I was feeling stuck. Like I was feeling like I needed some external help, because on the spiritual path, at different points in your life, different obstacles or things, or as you go deeper, you'll come to places where you need to ask for help. And this is also an important lesson: is not just sitting with it and sitting through it, is to start, look for the help, ask for the help. And then I, through Seth, I connected with and watched some of your videos, and I was feeling a lot of energy moving just as I was watching the small healing videos on Earth Elders.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, yeah, maybe this is the right person for me to help me get unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
And so working with you, um, yeah, there were some things which I could feel that with the guides and with your guidance and with their energetic help, um, I had many, many tools to use, like more tools available that I didn't have when I was in my stuckness.
Mm-hmm.
So I just grabbed onto these tools and used them the best I could. Plus intuitive bliss. So like a lot of, like, besides working with you, a lot of times when I run into things or problems, I look for, okay, so which intuitive bliss would be most helpful for me right now. So that's a fabulous resource, and I highly encourage anybody, yeah, other people who are listening, if you haven't joined into that, to do that.
Yeah, yeah. If you're not aware of Intuitive Bliss, you can send me a message. It's the first Wednesday of the month. It's a sound healing journey with ambient euphoric music, where you get taken on an experience. And there's Intuitive membership, which offers access to all the journeys over the last couple of years. And that really gives the freedom that Pia's talking about to just jump on and connect with a journey that will give you the tools that you need in that moment of healing without having to seek out a healer at that time. So yeah, thank you, Pia, for highlighting that resource. Brilliant. Well, it's been great. I could probably do this for hours with you, Pia. In
Yeah.
fact, I've already like to invite you back to this platform at some point and then to go in deeper to this stuff. um, so I haven't seen any questions. I can see some more people joining. Anna, Shirley, hey guys.
I
Um,
see, but I think I have to chat the question.
Say
But
that
then,
again, Pia. You're cutting out there.
oh, sorry, I cannot see the questions unless I leave this box and go.
Okay. I'll highlight these things.
Okay.
And Mary Lee saying, I agree, I feel the same, I need help, I can't do this alone, I feel stuck. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, guys, it's an interactive chat show. Do bring your comments, engage with us. We're going to be shortly moving into the second part, but first of all, Pia is going to demonstrate what is known as a monochord. I've only seen this for the first time this morning. It's a fascinating instrument. Pia, would you show the audience this and play a little?
Sure. Let me turn on the light as so that you can all see me. Okay, there we go. Sun just set. All right, so monochord is a very ancient sacred instrument, and I'll turn it around. You can kind of see here. This is a resonating chamber. You can see the resonating holes, and underneath are strings. And with this particular kind of monochord, a person would lie on top for an individual healing, and the vibrations go through their body, and it reharmonizes your mind, body, and spirit to the level of DNA even. And there are smaller monochords which you can put on your body. There are performance monochords, and sometimes, like with this one, I also play. We have mind, body, spirit music nights here at my workspace, and play it for many people. It harmonizes everybody's energy.
Mm.
Oh, and
Will you give
every
us a?
single string. There's 55. Yeah, important thing. 50. Why is it called a monochord? Because there are 55 strings, and every string is tuned to the same note. It's all tuned to F, which is the frequency of the heart.
Amazing. Will you give us a little demonstration with the camera
Sure,
underneath?
absolutely. Yes, I'm gonna put the camera down so you'll see my head and my hands.
When I come to Taiwan, I will be lying on that, experiencing that. So I bet it's amazing underneath you.
Yeah.
So Pia's going to be playing this at times during the next part of Transformation Live. So we're moving into this second part. Before we go into this, if anyone wants to reach out to you on a personal level with any questions, or to maybe they're even in Taiwan and want to come to one of your meditation classes or anything else you're offering, how do they connect with you, Pia?
Okay, so I'll be setting up a public Facebook page for myself. Probably this coming week. I feel at this point publicity is kind of opening up. And another way is through books. I've translated some books, and they're going to be published consecutively. I have 4 coming out over the next 6 months. So you can Google my name and find these books on Amazon, either paperback or in electronic form.
And what is your surname?
Giamasi. Or should I write it in?
Yeah, if you write that into the comment and or spell it. Maybe it's easier for me to write it. Spell it for me.
Okay, Giamasi. Giamasi. Pia Giamasi.
Okay, great. And as you've only got links, send them to me, and I can share them on Transformation Live as a post as well. So fantastic. Okay. So yeah, we're moving into the second part, guys. We're going to start to bring healing questions, and remember, this is a guide healing, and we deal with everything that's unanchored, and you'll understand greater what I mean by unanchored and anchored as we go into the third part. So the work I teach at Intuity International is all about root healing, how to get to the roots of all the anchor points of issues as quickly as possible, and I'll be demonstrating that. The healing that's available now is all the stuff that's not anchored, and that can be a huge amount that your consciousness is ready to release but just hasn't known how. And the guides will be with you, and they will strip away everything you're willing to release from your body, from your mind, from your emotions, from your aura. We can cover past lives, ancestral stuff, psychic surgery. So if you want to start bringing your questions to the feed, and I'm going to start off with a track, and we'll wait for some to come in, and when I'll answer as many as I can in a random order, and sometimes I'll play tracks, and other times Pia's going to play the monochord. So everyone take a breath. watching on replay, you can post your comments as well. My guides will be with you. And those of you live, for some reason I'm not seeing any requests for healing. I can hold space with Pia in this way. But it's your opportunity to get specific focus on things that you're dealing with in your life. The emotions, relationship issues, things in your body. And it helps us to bring the energy of the space up when you engage with us. It's an interactive transformation life, so please let us know, where can we support you? And as we wait for some support questions to come in, invite Pia to play the Monochord. I'm going to hold space here. So I'm seeing Janine is asking for pressure in her head and crown chakra to be addressed. I'm bringing you healing into that right now. There's a lot of stress and overthinking responsible for that, Janine. So allow the healing into your mind. Release that thinking pressure. Drop into surrender, a state of surrender in your being. Parisa has a lot of fear, not allowing her to move forward. The place I feel this the most is behind your sex chakra, Parisa, in the aura, in the spine area. Like to focus there and breathe and allow yourself to connect with the fear. Allowing is the first stage of healing. Everyone breathe. Whether you're asking questions or not, you're receiving healing if you choose it. Hi Laurie. I can see that you're saying the fear of love is as active now as it was decades ago. When I began my healing journey as a young woman, I judged myself for not deciding in my favour to make decisions of commitment, to getting rid of bad habits. So much left to give, but I'm not confident I will get my heart open in this lifetime. I believe I need ancestral healing to release fear of love. So we're bringing you healing into this fear. Breathe into it, Laurie. Pia, do you have something to say into this comment?
I have to read it. Fear of love. I think it's not fear of love, but something else. And I think that's something to look at. What's behind? Because love is something joyous and freeing. It can't be together with fear. So there is something else that you're afraid of.
Laurie, tune into your heart. What could that be? When you have love in your life, what comes up for you? What could happen if you were to let love in? Breathe into that part of your body. Beautiful. Thank you for bringing that to us. I have a Facebook user, but I can't see your name, asking for healing for trapped trauma and emotions. If you could post again with your name. Laurie's already answered fear of loss, fear of rejection. Very good, Laurie. So
good.
Breathe into that. Allow. Because allowing is the first stage. Normally we resist, we protect, we escape. And it's very foreign to go into, to be like,
yeah,
I can feel the fear of rejection or loss. And it's like, it's not easy, right, to be in those places. And I'm sure that's where I meditated in my earlier years of this, and it was very powerful. And it's meditation as a practice can really bring allowing. And but right now you can just choose it right in your body. Choose to allow this, and everyone else listening with your issues, with your healing, allow yourself to connect, to go in, to feel. Breathe, everyone.
love yourself, Laurie. Love yourself first.
Bia, I see your post of having had a seizure in Portugal for the first time. Well, be sending a lot of love to you. That must have been a scary experience, and you're on medication for epilepsy. Okay, yeah. So we will send you healing with psychic surgery, opening the blueprint here, having a look at your nervous system. And as I open this up, I can see some very old, deep shock that you haven't accessed before. I don't know if this is the right place for you to fully go into that. It may be that you need to have a one-to-one with me or one of Team Intuity. But we can start to draw it into that allowing space. So breathe, Pia. Let me know what you're feeling. Everyone we're working with, let me know. What are those of you feeling that I haven't answered your questions yet? Like everyone, replay or live. Just focus on what you need healing in within you, and this will come. And I'm seeing Julie Cavalier was the one who said about trapped trauma and the healer. And you take on people's trauma. My son's going through heartbreak and suffering, depression, anxiety. I feel as I act as a surrogate. I need to release this. So I teach in the academy, Julie, that when we take stuff on, it's because of our own unresolved issues. It's 100% responsibility is one of the key distinctions of this work. And so that whatever your son is going through is highlighting something in you, and then you can feel that energy almost like outside coming in. But things like cyclic attack are taught in the spiritual community. I used to teach it myself, but it's not real. We can't actually take someone's stuff on unless we've got an opening somewhere hidden, buried in our blind spots, that's like it's letting this energy, this frequency in, and then we feel the rise up and the connection to our existing issues. And so whenever that happens, it's a healing opportunity, and it's great you're bringing this here so that we can support you. And whenever it happens outside of here, you can also just take a moment, like, what can I be responsible for? How am I letting this into my space? Yeah. So let me know, Julie, what you're seeing or connecting with as I share here. Peter, did you have anything to contribute to this discussion?
I think a lot of people, they don't look at the shadow side. The shadow work is so important. And when you're working with light and when you're working with people, you also need to be aware that at some point it's your what's in the shadow side will come up to be healed. And so, like, in this opportunity, since you've brought it, it's come to light. Now it's an opportunity for healing, and for healing to pass through you to your son, and possibly back through others. The long prayer of Ho'oponopono is very powerful, and I recommend that for if you don't have any other tools at hand, find it and have it written down. And it's very powerful for clearing from through your DNA lineage and through other connections. It's very, very powerful.
Will you say the name again?
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, and it's like we're all wounded healers. When I teach, people are like, I've got too much baggage. I can't step out and be a healer yet. But it's like, no, step out, because as we become the healer, as we hold space, it will highlight in us what's incomplete. And then we can, with the right tools and the right support, if we can't get there, as Pia was supporting about earlier, reach out to the community if you can't heal it yourself. Then we can transform this, and then that thing's no longer in our space, and so the space we hold for others magnifies. Yeah, so it's brilliant you're seeing this, Julie. Pia, would you like to play
Yeah,
the mono? Okay, say what you need to say, and then
I
we
just
can
want to
play
say
it
one
again.
thing.
Yeah.
with just a minute. In a community, the community is like, if you're like a single glass of water, and when there's salt, a handful of salt in the single glass of water, it tastes very bitter. But when you combine the water together with everybody, a handful of water in a large pool, you won't even taste it. So working with community helps to dilute and make things less bitter, less powerful, and you can clear things much easier.
Absolutely.
Okay, I will unplug. I've been charging now and then. Oops, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, back
I see
under you go.
Bia's saying the shock could be from childhood. Very good, Bia. Start to be with where that shock is held in childhood. And if I haven't got to your comments, we are still holding you. We're seeing them. So Julia been holding you, helping you release the areas that take on other people's trauma within you because of your trauma. Let us know how you're feeling. Pia, Lorraine, anyone else we focused on, let us know how you're feeling. And we're going to keep holding all of you in the space of healing with my guides as we go into the third part of Transformation Live. And this is the root healing work. So today's guest for Transformation Live is Pia. So we've never done this before. And we identified something that may help you back in July, didn't we? And then before I got sick and we rescheduled. Would you share a little about what you're seeking healing on today, Pia?
All right. Well, Keith really nailed it when he said just the name power retrieval triggered a cascade of understanding and looking at this pattern has come like in my life where I've given away my own power. Sometimes in bigger ways, sometimes in small ways, sometimes just like as like a habit energy. And I think like tracing, I did some tracing of my own back to very early roots of feeling unworthy, feeling like a victim, and being in that mode, giving away power with that mentality, with that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had reached out to me, I was at a point where people around, like some people were devaluing, especially like the sacred healing, sound healing that I do, and I was kind of influenced by that and not feeling like I shouldn't be charging very much or whatever. Oh yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm living up on this mountain here and it's hard for people to get to. And then at some point I'm like, God damn it, I charge less than all my students. I've trained every Monochord student in Taiwan, and like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a classic power issue, like when we don't value ourselves or our worth.
Yeah.
So it's gonna start to do the healing with you, Pierce. If you drop out of the co-facilitator role and healer and be the recipient now, and in this next track I'm just going to let you transition into receiving. My guides are coming to you. My main guide in particular, Just Soul, is wanting to introduce his presence to you. So breathe. start to connect with all the energetic places where you've given away your power, Pia. People, places, experiences. This life, first of all, where you can identify that loss of power. And allowing yourself to be with that, however uncomfortable it is, being with that. Technique of the breath here. So my guides are with you, helping you to see more clearly into those realms that you've forgotten or hidden or escaped from. And as you breathe in, you're going to link the breath now. So breathing in and out. As you breathe in, Pia, tell yourself you're retrieving your power. As you breathe out, tell yourself you're letting go. You're choosing to let go of the people, the places, the experiences where you've mislaid it. Because it's yours. No one can take your power. Just as I was speaking before about 100% responsibility, you've chosen to give it away, to be under the authority or the command of other people, whatever it is. And you can change that in a moment. Maybe this moment, it may be the next time you have this opportunity, but everything can happen in the now. So really committing in this next track, so retrieving all the different facets of power you can into your sex chakra, the power center, the lower dantian, that part of the body. observing? What are you feeling? What can you see? Interact and let us know. And for Pia, keep the breath going. In and out. And you're starting to scan beyond this life now to other lives, other experiences. Which gurus have you given away your power to? So-called teachers, somewhere, sometime, that you become less than, around. Breathing into this. Pulling back into you. Focusing on the back of the sex chakra here, Pia, sort of been working, we're trying to shatter that solid protection, starting to crack a bit. How are you feeling so far?
Wow. I'm gonna turn this and unplug it so you can see me better. Okay. I was just flowing with the energy and wasn't trying to use my cognitive mind too much. And so, like the last song, at the very end, I felt something
We're losing you for a moment here, Pia. Just let the Wi-Fi thing pass and then say again. You.
Come into my hands, something with weight.
Pia, your Wi-Fi is not good enough to hear you right now, so I'm going to keep working with you. I'm going to play some more tracks. Focus on the back of the sex chakra and allow yourself to crack this. And I can see that there's some teachers of your past. You'll need to
Okay.
tune in, whether it's this life or past life, that have a perceived hold over you, that where you're not fully stepping fully into the master that you are. And in this healing, see if you can, with love, recognition, acknowledge them, and say no, no more. I am taking my power into me. I'm letting you go. With love, gratitude, respect for the teachings. Even this teaching right now of me doing this is a teaching. I'm letting you go. I'm bringing the power back. I'm breathing the power back into my sex chakra, my lower dantian. Wi-Fi seems to have dropped off for the audience. I'm still holding her. The energy space will be the same as with her photo here. See if you can speak now, Pia, if the reception's any better. Okay, apparently not. In the audience, what are you feeling? What's coming up for you as you experience a demonstration of power retrieval?
So,
Are you feeling any shifts in your power?
you hear me now?
I can just about hear you. If you turned your video off, that might be a good idea.
I've turned off the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How are you feeling? I can hear you right now, Pia.
Yeah. So can you hear me? Okay, good. I could feel some energy coming in. It must have been Jasal, come in through the crown chakra and go straight down to the root chakra, and was working with me. And I'm feeling a lot of energy in my hands, like weighty energy in my hands. And like I made some, at first I was working more without consciously thinking or trying to interpret. I was just allowing what sounds or what movements to get whatever energies out, just allowing that to happen. And like what you just said about the different gurus, that totally resonates. And I was working with that last song to invite them to leave or ask them to leave, and then say, you know, like when the time comes that we will meet, not as teacher student, but as equals.
Equals, exactly, yeah. So any part of you that's not equal to them still in this next track, just bring it back into you.
Okay.
It's not an invitation for them to leave. It's a choice of your power coming back in, right? So there's a
Okay, thank you.
difference there. Yeah. And something can crack if you choose it in this last bit of time we have, and really make a big difference in your space.
Great.
In this last track, Pia, being in the love, gratefulness that this moment is here, and that you can continue this work, whether with me, whether it's open something you can see in your meditations, that you can reclaim in your own time all the power that's yours, and embody this in this vessel, and then this will shift your ability to live in heart, to act in heart, to be your heart in the world. So in this next track, open your heart with love, gratitude, and allowing the power that you have retrieved to reconnect. Those of you that have been observing, how was that for you? And as you land back, Pia, I'm just going to share that if anyone wants to learn power retrieval, it's taught in the second module of Intuitive Practitioner Training. And the first module kicks off. The next one is happening this Saturday, the 17th. It's over 2 weekends and a Friday. And it's living in the heart, opening the senses, the foundations of the work that lead to all this amazing stuff, the power retrieval, the psychic surgery, the guide work. There's still places available if you want to jump in. So let me know. And if you want to experience a power retrieval just one-to-one, you can do so with booking in with me or the team Intuitive. So there's options available for you if you feel like this is something you need for yourself. And you've seen the technique, but the holding of it is a whole different thing. And so it needs to be with somebody rather than just the breath and things like that you've seen here. Pia, how are you feeling now?
Wow. I feel like my head, something on my head has like opened. Like my
Mm-hmm.
head is expanded.
Amazing. And how do you feel like as you tune into your power? Do you feel like there's something happened there?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Like I said earlier, that like this feeling of this weight on my hands, I think that that just was kind of like a physical representation of my own, the weight of my own power coming back and coming into me.
Mm, amazing. Yeah, I could
Mm.
feel it. Yeah. Hmm.
I think it will unfold, you know, I think things will unfold. It's not all clear at this
Mm,
because it, a lot of it happens on a level that's beyond the conscious mind, beyond what we're
mm,
able to fully put into like our words and understanding. But it will come forth because my body felt it.
absolutely. Yeah, a lot of it takes time to land in us when it's received energetically so that we're not into a place where we can articulate or understand it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was asked guests to. I didn't actually do this last month because I was in Burning Man. But will you come back in a week and share what's different in a week's time, Pia?
Sure. Yeah.
Jump on a live with me. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
awesome. And guys, this is power retrieval. Soul retrieval is a whole different experience, and the next soul retrieval is coming up in Europe with myself and Charlotte Chalkley, who's a beautiful, powerful healer, a friend. We're doing it in Tenerife, where she lives, and it's a 3 day retreat with ceremony under the stars. It's going to be super powerful. The last one was just off the chart. It's like the coming together of Intuitive's work, creating a container for your deepest stuff to percolate, to be healed, to the trauma to come out your body, and for you to reclaim parts that you've not been able to embody in this life because of the trauma being in the way. And it's life-changing work. If you would like to be part of it, then reach out, we can have a conversation. Pia, thank you so much. I knew this was going to be amazing when I had that intuition to reach out to you. I've loved
Well,
every moment.
me too. Me too. Wonderful to work with you and to be worked again is beautiful.
And if you know anyone personally like that would be a good fit for this platform, then do let me know. And in the audience, if you know amazing healers that could be a good fit for being special guests on Transformation Live, then let me know. Looking
Mm.
for the next guests. Okay,
My,
well.
my whole body is sweating.
We'll send some love Pia's ways, guys, and look out for her books and the page she's setting up on Facebook as these things come out. Pia, let me know and I can share it with the audience. And this platform is free, guys. So please help me share it. Like, let's get the numbers up to hundreds. It'd be amazing to grow the container so that the power of the healings is expanding further. And you can do that by sharing the invite on the Transformation Live Facebook page, or sending out the link to join through the email. If you need any of those, just let me know. I can support you with that. But yeah, let's share this with those that need the healing the most in the world. Okay, so thank you for joining, everyone. It's been a very special day. We're back with Insurity next Tuesday. There's a 15 minutes of healing every Tuesday, and next Tuesday is the same time as today. It's an earlier showing of 11:30, and then we've got Insurity Bliss is the first Wednesday of the month, and if you're not signed up for that, ensure you do it. It's an incredible experience as well. Okay, so lots of love to everybody. Thank you again, Pia. We'll see you all soon.
All right. Bye. Thank you.